Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is my new sofa that just arrived and I am so excited to finally own furniture because this is the first time in my entire life that I've actually bought furniture because I normally just go into furnished apartments and I actually bought furniture. So I bought this and then I bought two sofas for my living room. So this is going to be for my filming room, which I love. So welcome and it's so cozy. Okay, I want to do a little update video and I want to talk about something as well that's kind of been on my mind. It's currently, I think, 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. The jet lag from New York, for some reason, is really messing me up this time. I feel like I'm really good at not being affected by jet lag, but for some reason, LA is fine. Tokyo was fine. Coming back from Japan was fine. But for some reason, coming back from New York this time, has messed me up so much. And I'm sleeping the entire day and then I'm awake until I'm probably going to be awake now until maybe 2 p.m. and then I'm going to sleep all day. It's just so unproductive. But anyway, hello. I had so much fun in New York. I kind of want to talk about party culture today because it's something that's been on my mind and I don't know why. But anyway, I want to give a little recap on the New York trip because I know I took a couple days of not filming and I was just kind of out there. Oh my God, it was so fun. So I went to New York because it was my friend's birthday. And we normally spend our birthdays together, or we'll normally do a trip in the middle of our birthdays, but this year it didn't work out. We normally do LA together, and she normally goes with her girlfriend, and then I go with my mom, and we meet up along the way. However, it didn't work this time because they wanted to go a little bit earlier, and my mom still works, the summer period. So we weren't able to organize it where my mom could come as well, and it's such a nice trip that I get to do with my mom. So if I had went with her and her girlfriend, I wouldn't have been able to do LA with my mom. So I kind of delayed us going to LA, and we're going 2 weeks from today actually, which I'm very excited for. It's become my favorite tradition that me and my mom go to LA now, and I also don't see my parents that much anymore. I haven't seen either of my parents since probably Christmas, which is probably the longest time period I've ever not seen my parents for. So I'm very excited to see my mom, and I hopefully will see my dad very soon. It's just hard for them because they have dogs to get the dogs looked after, and they both work full time for them both to come out on the trip. So my dad stays home and my mom comes out, and then I like to do things with my dad throughout the year, that are separate. Just so that someone is always at home with their dogs. We did do one trip together, which was New York, which was really. Oh, we did Paris as well, which was really, really, really fun. It's an interesting dynamic whenever I get both of my parents on my own on a trip because I have two older brothers, and so the dynamic is obviously very different when you're with your parents without the entire family there. But it's really fun, and I definitely always feel like an only child whenever I go on these trips with my both my parents. And Paris was really fun. However, the Paris trip was kind of tainted a little bit on the second half of the trip because it was when the Swoop docuseries was coming out and I had to get emergency interviewed for it, and I'm so grateful that she decided to let me know and included me in that. Is when the Johnny news started to break. But it definitely put a damper on my Paris trip and kind of made me really stressed and stuff. That's not on Swoop at all. I'm really glad that she involved me in that. So I would love to do redo that trip with my parents when I'm not pulling my hair out stressed about everything that was going on the internet at that time. But obviously that's in the past, so I'm happy to move on from that and hopefully redo that trip again soon. But anyways, yeah, me and my mom are going to be having our summer very soon. My mom is actually going to be coming to Brighton in the next few days, this week, because we're going to Stevie Nicks on Friday, which if it doesn't get cancelled, because she's postponing all of her recent shows, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Then we're going to Kylie Minogue on Saturday, and then I want to go to the Stray Kids on Sunday. I also need to turn this fan on because it is hot as balls in this room right now, and I'm also wearing a full tracksuit. All right, let me put this fan on. God, I love having a fan on. Is this gonna be the right? Maybe I'll move it over a little bit. Oh, this just. Oh my God. Hey. Oh my God. That really. Can you stop moving? Hey. Hey. Thank you. My goodness. That was crazy. So, anyways, I'm very, very, very. Oh, that fan is lovely. Is lovely on my face. I'm very excited because we're gonna be going to Stevie Nicks hopefully on Friday. Kylie Minogue on Saturday, and then I really want to go to the Stray Kids on Sunday, which will be really interesting to bring my mom to a K-pop concert. I feel like it's going to stress her out so much. I've been to a couple K-pop concerts in my life, and they are like the most intense crowds ever. I love it. It might be a little bit overwhelming for my mother, but we'll see. I love Felix from the Stray Kids so much. I have the biggest crush, so I need. Oh my god, there's so many people on the internet right now like I have crushes on. You know who I have the biggest crush on of all time, and I don't know why. I think his name is like Benji Croyle or something like that. Don't know what it is. I'm like, I see him pop up on Instagram and I will always comment on the post. Like, I'm down bad. Don't know anything about him. Just find him really attractive. And then Hamza, I think is, Hamza and Martin, their podcast. Love Hamza so much. Oh, that is my man. Like, that is my man. Anyway. So yeah, very excited to see my mom. And then we're going to LA right after that. And then we are in LA for like 10 days or something like that, and then we go to Vegas. We're going to Vegas literally for 48 hours maybe, to go to the Mariah Vegas residency, which was my birthday present to my mom. So I'm very excited. There's something I value so much about summertime. I don't know why I'm gonna cry. I think it's because I'm like up at 6:30 a.m. There's something I value so much about this time of the year because I get to spend such one-on-one time with my mom, and it kind of like just like really brings me back to like childhood and stuff. Like, obviously I moved out super young, so, and like to a different country, so I don't experience that often anymore. But there's something about hanging out with your parents when you're an adult that just is such a different dynamic, which I enjoy so much. Like that, like I love being able to like go to a bar with my mom, or I love being able to like talk about more mature life topics with my mom. You know, like there's such a deeper relationship now, and I really, really, really love and value my relationship with my mom so much. And I love and appreciate and value my relationship with my dad so much. Like, it's so different when you grow up, right? And you're living a completely different life. So when I meet up with my parents, there's so much to talk about and so much to update them on because they're living their life, they work, like I'm living my life, you know, blah, 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 blah. Also, like this wall behind me, like, it's like cracked with paint. It's been like that since I moved in, but this is really the first time I'm seeing it because I don't really come into this room much other than to film. I need to work on that. I can't believe I've been moved back to Brighton for so long. Like, I have been in Brighton for like what? March, April, May, June, July. Like, have I been here 6 months already? That's crazy to me. Like, I just slipped right back into the Brighton mentality, and I genuinely have like never been happier to like be back somewhere. I just appreciate it so much, and like really, really, really loving it. And the apartment has worked out so well, and it was so great for like a last minute find as well. Just everything about it, I'm just really, really, really loving and really grateful. Anyways, to get to the New York trip. So yes, so I went out to New York for my friend's birthday, and then she's gonna come to LA for my birthday. So we're both seeing each other on our birthdays, on our actual birthdays. So I flew out on the 27th, and her birthday was the 27th. So I arrive, and oh my god. First of all, the flight was great. It was like super easy. There was no turbulence. Like, loved it. However, the car journey from JFK Airport into Manhattan, dear Lord, it was 2 hours, 40 minutes. It took nearly 3 hours. Now, my friend can validate that. You know who also can validate it? The fucking Uber driver who blamed me for it the entire time. This motherfucker blamed me for how long the traffic was taking him. And he was like, I can't even believe you would book this journey. I'm like, motherfucker, I take this journey every time I come to New York. Like, it's your fault for taking it. It was the longest journey ever, and he was so angry at me. Anyways, I arrive, and I'm super late. My friend... Kat, it was her birthday, was going to meet me at my hotel. We were going to have dinner, then we were going to go for a drink, and then we were going to get ready in her place, and then we were going to go to a karaoke bar. I show up, again, 3 hours after I'm supposed to, so that's knocked our dinner plans. So anyway, I'm starving, so we check into the hotel, but not before I get to the desk. I stay in Modern House, Soho, the hotel. I love it. I whenever I go to New York, I either stay in Williamsburg. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but I used to stay in Williamsburg a lot because I love Williamsburg, and it was really great when I first moved to New York. And Now I stay in either the Modern House Soho more often than not, or the Soho Grand. I love both those hotels. I love the area of them. They're really great. And anyways, I'm checking into the hotel. I'm super stressed. I'm super late, so I'm all over the place. And at check-in, you know, they ask for your debit card, your passport. What did I leave in the fucking Uber? My entire bag. Like, I have a handbag with all that stuff, and then I have my bag that I bring to the airport, and then I have my suitcase. I left that in the Uber, and I go, shit. So I've just said, hi, Kat, happy birthday. I've now checked into the hotel, realizing I don't have my fucking anything. So I immediately sprint down the street. Thank God the traffic was so bad. He was only a few blocks down. I run into this, like, the string, and I'm, like, banging on the thing. He, like, is refusing to let me into the car. Obviously, he probably didn't recognize me, which is crazy because we were in the car for, like, 2 hours, 40 minutes. And I'm like, please, my shit's in there, please. So anyways, I get it and I run back. Thank God, because that would have meant that I would have started my trip losing my fucking wallet, passport, money, everything. Like, I would have been flat out fucked. I would have had no ID, no passport, no money, no debit card. I'm such a dumb fuck for, like, really fucking that up, if I'm going to be honest. But anyways, so then I come back into the hotel. I'm trying to cool off. We go into my room and we literally order room service. We actually ordered grilled cheese and fries, and so we're eating that and catching up, and we're trying to, like, put our, like, dinner and drinks and everything into one. And then because it was so late, she ended up not being able to go home in time to get ready, so she went straight to the karaoke bar. And then this was just, you know how, like, when things are just going wrong, everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong for no reason. So anyways, she leaves. I'm super stressed. I get a shower. What do? Slip. I slip and I hit my head, and it, like, I start, like, getting really annoyed at myself. I'm like, shit, like, I really hurt myself or whatever. What do? I don't necessarily remember, but I think that I passed out on the bathroom floor, because I remember being like, I need to lie down really, like, urgently. And I remember lying down the bathroom floor, and I woke up like 5 minutes later. Hello? So then I wake up in a cold sweat, and I'm, like, panicking now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So anyways, I lie down in the bed. It's now like 8 p.m. at this stage. The karaoke session has started, and has my camera moved? I'm, like, trying to see. Oh, it has. You know what? It's fine. I guess it can just move with me. So anyways, it's 8 p.m. and I lie down and I text my friend. I'm like, hey, I think I just passed out. I'm going to lie down for a bit and then I'm going to come. The karaoke bar was not in Manhattan, so it was very far to get there. Well, not very far, but, like, with, like, a lot of people are on the subway at that time, so there's a lot of people there. And so anyways, I end up getting to the karaoke bar, and I, like, was so not in the mood. Like, I just felt so sick. I felt so awful. I'd really hurt my head. I was really stressed out. The day had not gone according to plan at all. And I get there, and I was actually quite early. I was quite early. Like, not that many people had arrived except for Kat, her girlfriend, and one of their other friends. So when I was getting there, I was like, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to do whatever because I feel quite sick. And then I'm like, fuck this. I'm not going to last if I don't have a drink. So I go and I get a vodka Diet Coke, completely forgetting that American alcohol, for some reason, just tastes gross. And it's so just not good. I can't describe it. Like, the vodka is just so, like, the house vodka is so bad in America. It's so anyway, I always order, like, a Grey Goose or, like, an Absolute or, like, a Tito's. Even Tito's isn't great, but it's better than whatever that house one is they give you. And I had one of them the entire night, and then we had, like, bottles of soju that we were just taking, like, little shot drinks and, like, not shotting it, but, like, drinking it. And so, like, literally after, like, my first drink, I felt fine. It got rid of my headache, and I was like, oh, okay, now I feel fine, which is also not great. Like, but I needed to, like, I came on this trip literally for this, like, this, and then the party the next day. I was like, I'm not fucking leaving, so I'm gonna have a drink to, like, help my headache out. And it worked. It worked. And it was really fun. We did karaoke. All their friends came. And then the next day was her party. And I met up with one of the girls that I had met through my YouTube channel. This really sweet girl, Ash, had reached out to me the last time I was in New York a month ago, saying she had watched my videos and was like, hey, if you ever want to meet up for a drink. And I was like, yeah. and I met up with her and her friend Riley. Ash is out of town right now, but Riley I ended up inviting to the party, and she came with, and we had the best time. She came over to my hotel, we had dinner, we had drinks, and then we went to, the party was in Brooklyn, and oh my god, it was the most fun night ever, and I actually called it quits. Like normally I stay out until like 3 a.m. I think I went home at 1 a.m. because I got so drunk, because again, American alcohol just gets me so drunk. I can't describe it. Like, I just can't, like, when I'm in anywhere else in the world, I can drink and I know my tolerances, and that's, you know, like, I know what my tolerance would be with wine. I know what it is with vodka. I know what it is with tequila. Like, they're all very different, but I know what they are. In America, I forget that, and then I'm like blackout drunk. No, I wasn't blackout drunk. Like, I've been blackout drunk, but I was like sloppy drunk by the time that I got back to my hotel room. So sloppy drunk that I had ordered a pizza that arrived to the hotel. It arrived 30 minutes before I got there because I didn't realize that I had to make the journey back to Manhattan. Luckily, the reception put it up to my room, which was so sweet. And I wake up in the morning. I had slept on the pizza. Did I eat the pizza? No. Did I open it enough to wake up covered in pizza sauce? Yeah. I was covered in pizza sauce when I woke up. And you know what the worst thing is? Waking up with a hangover. You know what's even worse than waking up with a hangover? Waking up with a hangover, but you're sleeping on top of a fucking pizza, and your entire back is covered in fucking tomato sauce and like pepperoni, and oh my god, the thought of it is just, I did not kick the trip off to the most elegant start, I'll admit. And so anyways, that night was so much fun. So much fun. It was at, I can't remember what the name of the bar was, but it was really fun. The bartenders were so sweet and everything. So whenever I was in New York this time, I normally do like different things when I'm on a trip. I either do a lot of like daytime things or a lot of nighttime things. It was so excruciatingly hot and humid in New York that for a majority of the day, like, I would go to the park, get my coffee, I would sit for a bit, maybe I would go a couple shops, a market, but I would have to like either go to a restaurant and sit in air conditioning, or I would need to go back to my hotel. Like, it was that hot. So I found myself staying in a lot and then going out at night. But obviously I don't have that many friends in New York. I ended up meeting up with a girl, Abby, who actually watched my videos, and her friends were super sweet, and they like took me under their wing, and they were really amazing. They showed me, I think the next day I went out with them and we went like bar hopping, and they were so much fun. Shout out, Abby. Hope you're doing well. Hope your flight home was fine. So this trip I ended up going to bars a lot more than what I normally would, and I really tested my limits on my social anxiety. I wouldn't say that I have social anxiety extreme, but when I'm traveling I do, because there's so much built up. Like, people are aware that I'm on my own, so I wouldn't say I have social anxiety like normally, but whenever I travel I really do. So I pushed myself out of my comfort zone to go to bars on my own and try talk to people, and every single night I met new people. I met this really sweet girl from LA. She introduced me to all her friends. She's directing a play in London right now. We had so much to talk about. The next night I had met people who had just they're graduated like their masters or something like that. Like, you were just meeting so many people. So it was the most fun, hectic trip ever. But oh my god, it is so hot in New York right now. I also just loved the area of Soho. Like, I love Washington Square Park. Luckily, if you know Adam McIntyre Laura, I did not get asked to do any TikToks this trip, but I did see that little twink Davis, you know, who like runs up to people with the mic. I saw him, and the second I saw him in the park, I immediately left the park, because I was like, like, that is the final boss evil. Like, for me, like, no. If you don't know, I did a video on like how much I hate people who like just go up and film you on the streets and they're doing TikToks. I find it really excruciatingly annoying. So I saw him go in and I went, no, I'm making a beeline for the exit of the park, and I did, and I went and got another coffee. Also getting I get matcha, not coffee, but getting 2 matchas in one day will give you the jitters like no other. So I had to, like, day 4 maybe stop doing that. I was there for like 10 days or something like that. I was there for quite a while, actually. But anyways, other than that in the trip, I just had like a lot of fun, like going around parks and bars and everything. It was a really, really, really lovely trip. And I was very happy that I did it because it was a very last minute trip as well. And I'm very grateful for my friends who dog sat for me. And by the way, I pay them. They're not just like doing it out of the goodness of their heart. Like I do pay them, and I pay them very well actually. So that was great. And whenever I came back, the Bonnie, my little friend, she has never been so affectionate in her entire life. Like she just, oh my God, she just wanted me to like do like this with her cheeks and stuff. She has been like my little shadow ever since I came back. So we've been spending time at the beach the past couple nights because the weather hasn't been great, so there hasn't been that many other dogs there, which is great because Bonnie is not great with other dogs, whereas Dolly's great with them. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about was I was thinking about this concept of like party culture and bar culture, and I think because I was in New York and talking to so many people about like their college experience and their like frat experience and stuff, it kind of made me think about my own. And oh my God, I also was in New York for 4th of July. I went to a barbecue. That was my phone. My friends were having a barbecue in the most amazing apartment, by the way, you ever seen. I went, where do y'all get your money? Like 4 levels. And like, I was like, where do y'all get your money from? And then we went to my other friends party then to see the fireworks, where it was more like just like a party. I have never had to hold my excitement in as much as going to a 4th of July barbecue where there's like, it's hot dogs, corn on the cob. Like, I'm so giddy thinking about it right now. Do you know how much I've dreamed of experiencing that? I have dreamed of experiencing 2 things in my life because I grew up on American media. I grew up on Disney Channel. I grew up on watching all these YouTubers who are American. I've dreamed of 2 things. Number 1, experiencing a 4th of July barbecue. Number 2, experiencing American like college parties. So I'm not going to get to experience the American college parties, but this is what got me thinking. Then I started thinking about like my college experience when it comes to like partying. Now, it was very, very, very different than I feel that a lot of people's are. Now, if we're being real, in Ireland and the UK, drinking culture is crazy. Like, it is absolutely crazy. Like, I remember my first time drinking alcohol. My parents were not aware of it. It was St. Paddy's Day in 2017 or something like that. And of course, my cousin got blackout drunk and our parents ended up finding out and I got in so much trouble. Fucking bitch really tided us out there. So annoyed at her because I was able to keep my cool as well. I was drinking Malibu. That was my first ever drink. And because Malibu isn't that strong, I was able to play it off. But then my cousin gets fucking blackout drunk and has to go to hospital. And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. That was my first time drinking. I remember me and my friend group at the time, one of the mums was like the mum who like tries to be the cool mom. And so she definitely did things that like our parents wouldn't have liked if they had known that it existed. By the way, I kind of want to move my camera over a little bit so I'm back into frame again. It's just crazy that it follows me. It's like, it really is ridiculous. So one of the mums in the friend group, like I said, really did try to hone in on this, like, she's the cool mom and everything. And anytime, and it would be the person that we would always have sleepovers at. And I feel like if my mom's listening to this, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But we would have sleepovers at my friend's house, and there would be a lot of us, maybe like 6 to like 8 of us, maybe even like 6 to like 10 of us. And we would always be allowed to drink. We would always be allowed to drink. And we're maybe like 15, 16, 17. And that was like my first time like being able to like drink, like where I would have like multiple drinks a night. And like I didn't feel like I was hiding anything because we'd be sleeping over at my friend's house so we could sleep it off before our parents would know. And our friend's mom, oh my God, I just said mom. I need to stop spending time in America. Our friend's mom, that was crazy, would like keep the secret and she would never tell our parents and stuff. And it was like, she was like so cool. Looking back, it's like we were drinking like, I remember we were drinking like ciders, the equivalent of like White Claws, Smirnoff Ice. Maybe at most we would do maybe like a vodka mixer, but like it was nothing that crazy. It just felt really crazy in the moment. So that was like my first time like really, really, really experiencing that. Now, my first time experiencing like party culture was my other friend used to throw these house parties when we were like, I want to say 16, 17. And I don't know how her parents would allow her to do these. I'm still friends with her to this day. But it would be where her parents would leave the house for like 6 hours. They would give their daughter full control of the house and garden. She lived in a beautiful house, like beautiful garden, huge house in a really nice area. Like it's like my favorite part of Derry. My parents are going to know who I'm talking about here as well. And her parents would just leave, and they would know that there would be genuinely like 50 plus like 16 or 17-year-olds, and we would drink. Like this was my first time like drinking. Like, again, I think at this stage, maybe my brothers had like secretly bought me like a Smirnoff Ice bottle or something, and I would like smuggle that into the party, and my parents would like drop me off and stuff. I also don't think our parents were like full, like I think all of our parents knew that we were drinking at these parties, but again, it was like a safe, controlled environment, and our parents would literally pick us up. It's so lame. Our parents would pick us up at like 10:30 p.m. because we get left off at like 6. But I remember these were the parties that I would like drink at. I remember like my measurements would be crazy of like vodka and like Malibu and stuff. And it's funny because anytime I get like a vodka Diet Coke on a night out night, I get transported back to those kind of parties. Now, those kind of parties to me were like the experience that I always wished I had, which was like the American college experience of like drinking and partying. Now, they're obviously not the same, but they kind of were, you know, like we were all not supposed to be drinking. We were all drinking. We were all probably drinking too much. And like people were just getting with each other, and like there was always so much drama. People would be fighting. People would be talking shit about each other. Like, there would be people there you hated. There would be people there you loved. There would be people there you had a crush on. Like, it was just a messy environment. And she would do these parties so often. I'm talking her birthday, St. Patty's Day. She would do ones for Easter. She would do ones for Valentine's Day. Like, she would do these parties just randomly. Like, a random Tuesday, she's doing one. And it would be, like, the talk of, like, the town. Well, that's an exaggeration. But it would be the talk of, like, all our friend groups. And it was how I met so many people in Derry at that time, because she would invite so many different friend groups, and then I would end up bringing my friend groups, and then they would bring their friend groups, and it just turned into this big fucking huge party. And oh my God, it was the most fun times of my entire life. I look back on them so fondly, even though they were so goddamn messy in that moment. But I think about like how my partying and drinking changed over the years. So I would argue that my craziest phase of partying was those parties when I was like 17, 16 years old. And now, obviously, the drinking age in Ireland is 18. You'll struggle to find someone who does not drink below the age of 18 in Ireland and the UK. And if you're an American, going to be like, no, please. Whenever I got cancelled for that underage drinking scandal in America, y'all fucking losers. You fucking losers trying to cancel me for drinking in America when I was, like 18 or 19. Get a hobby, fucking losers. I drank and I loved it. And also, the only reason I was able to drink in America, for those people who were saying that I was like drinking underage or whatever, you know why? Because I was able to book a hotel under my name, because the hotel allowed you to take a booking if you were 18 and you were international. And what do they have in a hotel? A fucking minibar. Was I paying $60 for a fucking Tito's bottle like this size? Yes. Was I drinking it? And it was yummy. It was yummy. Anyways, so I just think the drinking age thing is so stupid, because in UK and Ireland, people are drinking literally from the age of 14, which is crazy, and it's wrong, obviously. But it being 18 means that people are like it's less of like a taboo. Whereas I was hearing these stories from these people I was meeting in New York telling me like their stories of like drinking really underage and like blacking out and getting spiked and, you know, getting in really dangerous things because it's so taboo to drink under the age of 21 out there. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's even more dangerous. And it's like Canada's in the middle with like 19 or whatever, but it's like the more you restrict, the more dangerous it becomes, in my opinion. So anyways, where was I going with that? I had a good point. Anyway, I was like thinking about like my phase of drinking. And after these parties was whenever I like fully developed my like core friend group at the time. Basically, not many of us speak anymore. I think I talked to some of them, but like separately. In Derry, it was like how we'd all met was like, it was my best friend at the time. She had brought in her core group of girls, and then I had brought in my guys from school, and that was the friend group. We used to go to this one bar in Derry literally every single fucking weekend, and it was the only bar that we were really able to like sneak into. And we were probably 16, 17. It was in town. It was really close to like where all of us lived. The bar staff were like very young as well, so like there was never any like 30-year-old behind the bar being like, I'm not going to serve you. If you got past security and got in, you were good for the night. So there were multiple entrances to this bar, and you would basically just wait for we would wait outside the bar, and at the opportunity of the back door opening, we would fucking go in. And again, once you're in, you're in. You don't need to leave. You're fine. And we would have the most amazing nights in that bar. Those are some of my like favorite memories of my entire life. Even though I don't like a majority of those people anymore, those are some of the memories that I will forever fucking cherish. I really loved them. Also, some of the nights I got the most drunk in my entire life to this day. And if we couldn't get into the bar, there was like a road outside the bar. We would get like one of our friends with the cool mom would bring alcohol, and we would drink it on the street and like make our own drinks. And sometimes we would bring glass cups from our home that we knew that the bar used. We would pour our own drinks into that, and we would sit at the smokers area outside the bar. And eventually the security kind of just thought that we had got that from the bar, and we would confidently walk in. If there's a will, there's a way. So those are some of my favorite memories of like the underage drinking. Like, it was crazy. And so anyways, obviously then I went to college, and me and my friends would start going, I don't want to say clubbing, because my first experience clubbing was really Brighton, because the clubs in Derry were like, they would close at like fucking 10 p.m. There barely was a dance floor. It was the worst crowd ever. But like technically that was my first time clubbing, and we would do it it was like every Wednesday or something. How bleak is that? After college, we would literally go straight from college to the bar, and then we'd go straight clubbing. And we were all over 18 at this stage, so we were able to. My nose is running. My nose has been running so much recently. I have really bad allergies as well recently. Fucking annoying. So anyways, we used to do that as well. And so as the years went on, I moved to Brighton. The year after that, whenever I was 18, I moved to Brighton. That was my first experience clubbing. Now I'm going to skip past me not having friends, blah, 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 blah. So I've met my friends. I went clubbing at a gay club for the first time, and I was hooked. I was hooked. What do you mean they're going to play my favorite kind of music all night and the drinks are cheap? Sign me up. So I used to go there every Tuesday. Sorry, I used to go to so they have a bar and a club under the name of this gay bar. I used to, hear this, on a Monday night, I would go to the gay bar and do the quiz. On the Tuesday, I would go to the club night at the club. On Wednesday, day off. Thursday, club night at the club. Friday, club night at the club. Saturday, club night at the club. Sunday, day off. When I first moved to Brighton, there was never not a drink in my hand. Once I had met friends, there was I was never not at that club. I was never not at that bar. And it was so fun because the people that I had met were all students, and this was how the students in the UK live. And it was my first time feeling a part of something and having the best time doing it, because I didn't get to experience the university experience. I ended at a media college in Derry, so they really took me under their wing, and this is what the college students or the university students are doing, and this is like what I see all the uni students doing to this day in the same club. Now, as I have gotten older, my drinking style has changed. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really enjoy drinking. I really enjoy drinking, but very different now as to whenever I was younger. When I was younger, I loved drinking to get drunk, because me and my friends would get drunk and it would just be like the craziest night out ever, right? Now, very different. I don't like hangovers anymore, and I also just don't really necessarily find clubbing as exciting as what I once did, because I had many years of doing it, 18, 19, 20, 21. So my ideal night out now would be going to a wine bar and hearing a jazz performance and being home by like 1 or 2. I used to start my nights out at like 1 or 2 whenever I was younger. And so my favorite drinks now have gone from like I would drink like vodka Diet Cokes to I think like my favorite now is like a white wine or a rosé or something like that. And again, I have like a maybe like 3 or 4 glasses of wine and then I'm good to call it a night. Which is crazy to me because I have so many people in my life who are 21 and they're in that like crazy partying phase now. And don't get me wrong, I think clubbing is a beautiful art and clubbing will never die and blah blah blah. Like my cousin's in her mid 30s and she loves clubbing and stuff. I don't know if it's because I clubbed so much whenever I was like 18 to 21 that like now I just love a chill night with like a glass of wine, a charcuterie board, and then me and my friends go home and play games. It does make me feel a little bit boring. However, I don't care because I had so many years of experiencing like the crazy feral nights out. I think one of the main reasons I used to go out a lot as well was because I always wanted to meet new people. I think I'm good with meeting new people for like a while. I think especially in like the time period I'm at in my life right now, like I have a really good group of friends around me, like I feel really content. So I'm not necessarily chasing meeting new people. If I meet new people, that's great. I love meeting new people. But it's not necessarily something I'm like desperately seeking, which was a big reason I would go out clubbing. Whereas now I can just go to a bar with one of my friends or a couple of my friends and we can just have a conversation and hear each other rather than at a club where we have to go to a smoker's area to hear each other. Also, I am in no way endorsing smoking or anything to do with that. If you're ever struggling to find friends or talk to people or you're solo on a night out, if you go to the smokers area and you have a lighter, you will be the most popular person in the entire world. You don't even need to smoke yourself. You just have a little lighter. It'll start so many conversations. The amount of people that will come up to you at a smoker's area being like, do you have a lighter? Yes. And then while they're lighting it, you're able to like open a conversation. That was literally, once someone taught me that trick, I was able to open up my entire world of meeting new people. And my entire friend group that I have now, I was introduced to them because I had a lighter and they had a cigarette. And that's it. And I didn't even smoke. I did not even smoke back then. So it was just this like TikTok I had watched and it really was it worked. And especially in like a foreign country, like I do it in Paris a lot where, or I'll even like, again, I'm not endorsing anything, but like I will buy like a packet of cigarettes and I'll have them on my table and I'm drinking my wine. I'm not smoking them, but they're there and people will come up and ask, normally a lot of tourists, and it just opens up meeting new people, which is so great. Obviously I'm not endorsing anything. I'm not endorsing drinking either. I'm just talking about like things that a lot of us do and like my experiences with them. So anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this summer. I This is the first time I'm going to be going to LA where I'm able to club, but I don't necessarily think I am going to club because I'm going to be with my mom and I enjoy talking with her and hearing her. So I think like maybe like a fun bar, fun wine bar. So if anyone has any recommendations of like fun bars that like would be good for like me and my mom in the Los Angeles area, please let me know. But anyways, yeah, I have another 2 weeks before I go. I'm going to be spending a lot of time here in Brighton. I have my friends coming over this week. I'm going to be doing a really fun games night. My mom is coming, like I said. Oh, sorry, I just hit myself there. It just, I'm very much so in, like a fun place right now where I just kind of feel really calm and collected, which is surprising for once. And yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to be able to sit down and film videos here just talking. If you have any topics you would ever want me to like cover on or give my opinion on or my experiences, please let me know. I'm going to love and leave you. I will see you in my next one and goodbye.